my name is Sam, and thanks for checking out this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification, and give the video a thumbs up. So I actually had kind of like a rather slow, for me, reading week. I think I only finished 3 full books, a couple of like stories, and I got like 2/3 of the way through an Outlander book, which is like 3 YA books on its own, to be fair. But we're going to talk about that book next week. So this week, I just want to talk about a couple books that I did finish. So the first book that I finished this week was Sanctuary by Karen Lix. This is the easiest way to describe this is like either Darkest Minds with some X-Men elements with Illuminae. Yeah, it was really, really good. Was not expecting to like it as much as I did, but it's essentially a prison break on a spaceship combined with an alien invasion of said spaceships with people with mutant powers. I don't know what else you want from a book, but that's kind of like several of my top like trope or topics or settings that I want used. So it follows our main character whose family essentially is like prison guards on this spaceship, and the spaceship is essentially a prison where they put prisoners who have developed these abnormalities on Earth, and they have superpowers, and they've proven, according to the corporations now running Earth, that they are a danger to society. So they're put here, and then at the same time as her father leaves the spaceship to go do training along with her sibling, there is a weird signal that comes in, and then one of her few left co-workers goes to check on the signal, and then at the same time, basically, the prisoners on the spaceship break out. And then her mom goes missing, and it's just chaos from there. I really, really liked that this takes place over like maybe 24 hours. So much happens, and it's such like fast paced, and I really, really liked the romance, which is not something I say an awful lot. There were some comments, I guess, the author did a chat in TBR and Beyond, and she was saying like she had people complain that there was insta-love. It's not insta-love by any means. They're very clearly attracted to each other, and then she, the female card, makes a move on the gentleman. He stops her and says, "Are you sure you want this? This isn't like just the setting. It's only been a couple hours since we've even met. Are you sure you want to do this?" And she's like, "Yes, I'm attracted to you. Let's make out." Like, that is literally like the opposite of why I would define as insta-love. So also giving credit to the author for literally having a character say that, because when I have characters who meet each other and they're auto enemies like these characters are, and then all of a sudden they're like, "No, we're gonna get married. Yep, we're gonna get married," and then 2 hours later they've planned their entire future, I get annoyed by that. This one did it well, and I'm so excited for the sequel. The author also said that there's going to be either either Blackfoot language or a Blackfoot character in the sequel, because I know she is formerly a teacher in Alberta, and I was so excited when I heard that. Oh, I'm so excited. It's supposed to come out next year. The ending was so good. I know that the sequel's apparently supposed to be taking place on Mars, but she has plans for a 3rd book, if hopefully the publishers extend it from 2 to 3 books. Because I want to go to Earth. I need to know what the corporations are doing on Earth. It sounds super sketchy, like kind of like a Divergent situation. Mind you, I didn't read the last book of Divergent, so I don't know if that's correct. But what I imagine. Or like, kind of like Ready Player One-ish, where like corporations are like, "Oh, we're doing it for your benefit, but we're just gonna like, if you have debt, we're gonna put you in like essentially forced labor camps kind of situation." So I'm so excited about that. There was just enough world development to give enough information, and then just there wasn't too much, so it wasn't like just random info dumping. Really, really impressed for a debut, and 5 out of 5 stars, honestly. Like, there was like the only negative-y kind of thing that I could think of, I was like, I don't understand why her father and brother were introduced and then left the ship like 2 pages later to never return. I'm assuming they may come back in another one. Then it'll make sense. But like, honestly, freaking loved this book. Plus, she's a Canadian author, which I'll love to support. Then I did a reread of Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas, because I'm rereading the series in preparation for Kingdom of Ash coming out, because I am trash for Maas, and it's been like a whole 8 months since I finished reading it the first time, so, you know, that's just, I legitimately have a feeling Sarah J. Maas could find a way to take over the world. It's possible. So this follows our main character, Selena Sardathian, and it picks up kind of where Assassin's Blade, the novellas, a couple like years or so later when she was taken and brought to the forced labor camps that are being run by the Glass Castle, and then all of a sudden she is plucked out by the king of said kingdom, or by the prince, sorry, of said kingdom, and says, my father's doing like a duel, we all have to kind of find people to be potentially his assassin. Your guys are going to battle it out between each other, and the winner gets to be the king's assassin, and if you do it for a set amount of time, you earn your freedom. So she wiggles him down to, I think, 4 years, and tons happens. You meet characters from a couple of the different realms, and we eventually end up exploring all those different places in the rest of the series. But she is trying to work back all of her strengths and her skills that she lost while working in like essentially coal mines for like a year and a half or so. And the mines are apparently so like horrific that the average lifespan of people in them is like 3 weeks or 3 months, and she's been there for over a year, and she almost escaped, and she's like the only person to ever done it. And so she kind of strikes up this triangle romance thing with the prince, who kind of brought her out to be his assassin candidate, as well as the guard Kaol, which people seem to really hate in the series. I don't like, he can be kind of annoying sometimes, but I don't like, hate is kind of a strong word. And then there's this girl who's kind of trying to win the prince's affection so she can become queen, and she's willing to do anything for it, and she kind of gets in trouble. And then someone starts killing all the assassin candidates, and things go from there. So yeah, freaking love this series so much. Not as much as ACOTAR, but I really like Selena, and I'm so excited for the rest of the books when we get to start meeting all the fairies and everything. And yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. It's Throne of Glass. I'm trash for maths. Then I finally read The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine. This is kind of a Snow White retelling, and oh my god, the Once Upon a Time feels. I was like, I literally got halfway through the snow. I was like, know what I should do this weekend? I should marathon Once Upon a Time. Now, I don't even think that's mathematically possible because there's like 7 seasons of 20-hour-long episodes each. So, I mean, but that's an idea if I end up going on taking vacation days and don't leave my town, like just, or I guess they're called staycations, and I could just binge, because I feel like I just kind of fell out of that show an awful lot. Every time there was like a season off, I'd be like, okay, and I forgot about it for 2 seasons, then I'd come back and binge, and yeah. So yeah, it follows our main character, who is the kind of dethroned, kicked out heir to the kingdom, and her father was kind of bewitched by the evil stepmother, and she came in and, you know, Snow White, being evil, kind of kicked them out, the main character and her brother, and they're kind of running because she thinks, sorry, they didn't kick her out, she thinks the twins are dead, and it turns out they're not. And then at the same time, there is a kingdom kind of outside of them that is going through the Ogre Wars, and the guy in that kingdom, he's going to become king now, he's a were-dragon. And he figures he'll go to this kingdom, Evil Queen's kingdom, to try and get help, because he needs magic to help defeat them, which I'm confused how you are were-dragons but don't have any magic. That doesn't seem right to me. But things don't go as planned, and he ends up kind of falling into help with the twins, and they kind of have to fight both ends on that end. And it was kind of just exactly what I needed. It was a light retelling. It wasn't like super unique, nor was it like an incredible copy. There were some really cool elements picked in. I feel like she actually did a really good job, I think, of showing like kind of the desperation of the Evil Queen's kingdom for like food and like everything crazy going on since she's taken over. And the twins had this kind of Robin Hood like feels to them, which was also kind of a cool kind of plug-in. And then dragons. So I really liked it. The romance was not terrible either. It did a little bit like they're clearly kind of attracted to each other. They kiss, but there was that logic of like, we need to be friends, because if I'm going to be queen, he's going to be the king of these kingdoms. We need to like be on good terms, because if we screw each other over in this situation, when we both take over, it's not going to go well. And it just kind of developed from there, and she proved it and he proved himself to her. So I actually really liked that one. I enjoyed this book. I think I gave it like a 3.75 or 4 out of 5 stars. It's fun. It was light. It was perfect for the mood I was in. And I'm definitely going to pick up the sequel, because, yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I'm not sure if they're companions or continues. I know like they're each supposed to have different like retelling elements, but I don't know if it's supposed to be like Lunar Chronicles where they just add on to each other or if they're all separate, so I'll have to look that up. But I know there's like a Rumpelstiltskin one for sure, and I want to say there's like a Cinderella one or something like that, so I'm gonna have to look into those. I enjoyed this far more than I thought I was going to. And my last complete thing that I read this week was obviously not this full anthology, it's like 1,200 pages, and they're like the Bible pages. But I finished the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, which is, I think it's like 150 or so pages. But yeah, they're, once again, like the Bible-y pages. And this is it is the one where Sherlock Holmes kills himself in his battle with Moriarty. I always find it so interesting to read these things, especially something that's been so thoroughly, like we have done every possible adaptation influence that I could possibly think of in book format and TV format and movie format, and the last few years they've been such high quality with the BBC and the Robert Downey Jr. films, and like it's just so interesting to read the originals and be like, wow, we really did develop this an awful lot, because like the Moriarty thing, it's literally just like one story, whereas like every single TV show and movie we have, Irene Adler is thoroughly in there and Moriarty are thoroughly in there. Sometimes they're in cahoots, sometimes they're not. But like, it's just so interesting how we've like the BBC, like with the Moriarty with Jim Dale, I think his name is. Oh my god, that's probably the best one I've ever seen. But like, it's just so interesting to see how like, he wasn't really an arch nemesis, and Irene Adler's only in like one story, but we've taken these characters and made them so iconic. The Memoirs have all these like little stories attached to them. I think my favorite one was the Navy Contract. I want to make sure I get that one. Sorry, the Naval Treaty, where some guy is set to copy, because it's like, you know, before World Wars, copy like a treaty alliance thing so that it can be disseminated out to hopefully avoid a war, and it's stolen while he's trying to copy it, and if they try and sell it to like not people that they were trying to make a treaty with, things are going to go haywire. So I actually really enjoyed that one, and yeah, that was probably my favorite one. So yeah, after the Memoirs I have, I'm trying to remember what the heck the actual official name is. I've abbreviated so many of these because there's so many. It's The Return of Sherlock Holmes. I was going to say Sherlock Holmes Returns, and that's one where it's got a bunch of like itty bitty ones, and yeah, so I really enjoyed that, and I'm going to try and finish this by the end of the year. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not even halfway. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to keep working on it. Oh, and I don't think I said this before, but you didn't miss a video on Friday. I had my vlog edited, but it was like 8 minutes long. I forgot to vlog on a day, and I didn't do anything. I just like, each day was like, hey, I read this, I'm starting this, and I went and saw Crazy Rich Asians. And that was kind of it. P.S. If you didn't hear, Crazy Rich Asians sequel is getting developed, and I'm taking credit for that, baby. I've been 3 times. I'm debating going another time this weekend, in all honesty. Judge me if you want, but I mean, I could be putting money towards much more harmful obsessions. So those are all of the books that I read this week. Let me know in the comment section down below what you read this week, and if you've read any of these, what you thought of them. Make sure to check the description box down below. I will link all of the books to their Goodreads pages, and I will link all of my social media. If you follow me, I will follow you